What is up, YouTube? This is DBZ40 coming at you with my first place locals Magical Musketeer deck profile. I've been on a hot streak with this deck. I've been going to the finals in my locals and topping my locals with this deck, and I'm really excited to showcase you my Magical Musketeer deck. And so, without any further ado, let's get on with the deck profile. Starting off with the main deck. First off, obviously you run the triple Caspar, the Stratus of the deck. Practically searches anything. What cards are activated in its column. Very powerful card. Nothing much more to say about it. Next we play the triple Kid Brave. So we are going first, and decided to play 3 of those because I run the Ties of the Brethren package, and you're gonna have to run 3 of every the 3 level stars. He's actually pretty good because if you clog up with a lot of monsters, you can be able to discard a monster and draw 2 cards. Could potentially be more hand traps, things that can help you. So yeah, Kid Brave is kind of nice. Next we run the triple Doc. Doc is amazing, especially mid to late game. Being able to recur your stuff from the graveyard, especially when your desires off a lot of cards, you're low on resources in your main deck, so you need to get resources from your graveyard. So he's pretty critical. Last with the Magical Musketeer cards, I play the triple Starfire. Starfire is nice. Every time a spell or trap card is activated in her column, once you can special summon a musket from your deck in defense position. So she helps bring out more monsters. However, she's not a Ties of the Brethren target. And I decided to take out the Calamity package because the Utopias and all that stuff, because I wanted to go first. I always brick with opening Utopia and or Calamity, and my opponent has some form of negation whenever Utopia is summoned. So I figured to cut the package and run other cards. Cards like the following. Phantasme. I play 3 cards of this. This card is absolutely phenomenal. There's a reason why it's at a super high price point. Able to protect your Magical Musketeer cards and dig into your deck, search for more hand traps. Card's absolutely critical in this deck. Last for your hand traps, I play the double Ash. Probably the most generic hand trap you can run in any deck, and it can, it's Ash. There's nothing much more to say. Only run 2. You don't want to run 3 because you don't want to open multiple copies of it. So yeah, anyways, that is it for the main deck. And now for the spell cards, we run triple Ties of the Brethren. Brethren's nice. It's the reason why I make it to go first now. Being able to summon 2 muskets from your deck and then search a spell or trap triggering the musket's effect when you activate Ties of the Brethren is absolutely phenomenal. Card's amazing. Next, we run the triple Pot of Desires. I love this card, arguably my favorite card of all time. Card says +3 essentially, because if you activate underneath the cast bar or something, you get to potentially search another card, and you just draw 2 cards. You don't care what you banish because you literally run almost 3 of everything, and you just want to be able to dig to your resources and prevent your opponent from playing the game. Next, we play triple Super Poly. Super Poly is absolutely broken. Being able to wipe your opponent's board, whether they're playing Orcus or Salads or even Thunders, things like that. Especially when you go first, you play underneath the musket card, trigger their effect, and then you're never going to usually go into your extra deck monster zone turn 1. And also it's a great turn 2 card, so yeah. Next we play triple Cross Dom. Cross Domination is your permanence. Being able to make your opponent's attack, or target one card your opponent controls, negates effect and makes his attack 0 and defense 0, and you can do it during the damage step so your opponent can't really respond to it. Next we play Double Instant Fusion. Being able to summon cards like Thousand Knives Restrict, suck up opposed monster, link it away for Link Karibo, activate underneath like a card like Casper to search. Instant Fusion is absolutely phenomenal. And last for the spells, we run the 1-up Zargala. The card says +2 in this deck, so why not run it? That's it for the spells, and moving on to the traps. We play triple Last Stand. Now, I see some people running 2 of this card. In my build, I prefer 3. Just because you want to be able to make sure your cards go through, especially against a lot of control decks now, and that you played the triple Desires. You're probably going to banish a copy, maybe even 2, so you want to see this card. Next, we play triple Desperado. Arguably one of the better musket spell trap cards. Being able to pop a face-up card is very critical. And last for the traps, in my 40 card main deck, we play the 1 Fiendish Deal and the 1 Dancing Needle. Fiend Steel's not bad. Being able to protect your musket cards from being destroyed by card effects is pretty nice. And also, if this card were to be destroyed, you can search any musket card. And Dancing Needle is actually really good. It's like a Call by the Grave times 3. And yeah, it's just being able to banish 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard. Whether it's the Orcus or Salad Play can really, really hinder your opponent from playing the game. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. And moving on to the side deck, we play double Nibiru. Nibiru is pretty good. Being able to wipe your opponent's board, whether they're playing Thunders or Salads or any combo deck, and then being able to play the game is pretty good. However, the token can get really big and be sometimes hard to get over. Next, we play triple Cosmic Cyclone. You have back row issues, especially against decks like Altergeist and stuff like that. When you go second, you normal summon and they activate cards like Compulsory or Solemn Judgment or things like that. You want to be able to Cosmic Cyclone. Make sure your opponent doesn't have any back row because your normal summon is absolutely critical in this deck. And you want to be able to make sure, by all means, to make your normal summon go through. Also, I've been playtesting Twin Twister. Twin Twister was not good in my opinion because you don't gain any advantage from discarding a card. So I feel like Cosmic Cyclone was the most optimal decision. Next, we play the double Mind Control. Mind Control is actually really good because if you activate underneath a musket card, you gain advantage from it, and you take opposed monsters. You just link it away, go into something big, and yeah, card's really nice. Next for the one-ofs of the traps, we play one Soul Drain and another Dancing Needle for decks that heavily rely on the graveyard, and then Soul Drain is just a walking Abyss Dweller. It's so good against so many decks now. Next, for another floodgate we play is Triple Summon Limit. In my opinion, one of the best floodgates to play now. You don't really summon that much, and then Mad Max, you can play around it, especially Mad Max, because when you summon him and summon all your monsters at once, it's considered one summon. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And lastly, for our side deck, we play Triple Evenly Matched. Being able to blow out your opponent, and especially against control decks, Evenly Matched is one of the best side deck cards in my opinion. So yeah, anyways, that is it for the side deck, and now moving on to the extra deck. This is your awesome field center right here. Play triple Mad Max. Honestly, the main reason why this deck is alive now, and the reason why I'm playing it right now, it's so good. So pretty much on summon, if your opponent controls an X amount of spell cards, you can special summon that many monsters from your deck with different names. Or if your opponent controls a bunch of monsters, you can search that many spell or trap cards from your deck to your hand. So Mad Max is really good. You could potentially +5 off of it. Card's insane. Next we run the one Soldier of Chaos. It's pretty good. Some decks have a very hard time getting over this card, especially when you mind control things and then link those level 7 or higher monsters away, or using that Phantasma that you have and link it away, summon this card, able to get rid of problematic cards on the field. Soldier of Chaos is very nice. Next we run the one Boral Sword to help OTK, the one Nightmare Phoenix, and the one Cerberus, obviously. Pop Spell, Trap, or Pop Monster whenever needed, and the one Unicorn to spin back something to your opponent's deck. And then finally, we run the one Link Reba because of this card right here, 1000 Restrict. Very good card, especially with the Instant Fusion package. Potentially be able to +2, get rid of a problematic card, bait card, what have you. And for the last of my fusion monsters, we run the Diplexer Chimera, the Over Trevithum card, I don't even know how to say this card's name, but he's pretty good, especially against decks like Dangers when they have a bunch of dark monsters. You just suck them all away, make this card. It's a Solemn Judgment for extra deck monsters. This card's actually pretty good. I played this over Violet Chimera because you could tribute this card and then free up your extra monster zone. So yeah, and then make Mad Max after that. The one Mud Dragon, obviously Super Poly target and Instant Fusion target if needed. And its effect's actually pretty nice. So you call light, it prevents targeting of light monsters you control. And then we play the one Dragon Stapelia and then the one Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, any comments, please post them down below in the video. I always try my best to respond to your comments. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.